All right, I was talking with an individual that I know quite well, and we were just talking. And he is not really well-versed and into the, we'll call it the conspiracy world theories. He has touched base with Mancow in years past, but so he's not really up on him. So I can mention things, like I mentioned Jade Helm 15 to him. He had no idea what it was. So we were talking, and I mentioned this Jade Helm, and I explained what it was. And he says, you know what I heard the other day? He was working on a location, and he had the opportunity to talk to a Chicago policeman, shooting a breeze, and somehow got on this topic. The officer mentioned that throughout the city of Chicago, in the water facilities, throughout the city, there are valves, turn on and off water lines in case there's a break, just like electricity. There's circuits that they turn on and off. And these buildings are known. There's some ones that are famous because they're kind of odd. They're built, probably in the 20s or 30s. And they're, as buildings have been torn down and builds have been built, roads have been built, there was these closets. I call them water closets. I don't know what the official term is. Where the pumping stations are and valves, and so forth. Well, this officer said to him that throughout the Chicago area, they are installing large safes. It would be S-A-F-E, safe. That large meaning that they would hold, not like a safe you would have if you were going to put your personal belongings in it. I don't have the dimensions. The person I was talking to made the assumption from talking to the officer, maybe the officer made the assumption, that they would be large enough to hold weapons in. Presumably some type of machine guns or what have you. AK-47s, I don't know. But they're being put in these areas. Now, I found that, as what this officer was saying, was like a cache, a weapons cache that in the event of emergency, they can go to get access. And he brought this up. It jogged his mind because I talked about Jade Helm, which was having the military presence being established and tried out in various cities, and mostly the Southwest, but, I'm sure there's a version of it going around elsewhere. And like some people have said, it was a software system for controlling these people. Anyway, so I said that it brings this up. So we were talking. So it's a large safe that presumably could hold some type of guns or weapons, and they're being put in these water closets throughout the city. Again, safe. So there's you need to have a code to get into it. So and that was that, and we talked. I thought that was odd, and then I started thinking about it. I go, why on earth would they put that in water facilities? I mean, wouldn't the police stations couldn't they have a big safe with cache of weapons in it? So then I was thinking, what came to mind was Janet Phelan. Going back to these her articles that she does about the water systems may be used for WDM attacks. So is it possible that these safes will be used to keep something nasty in that can be designed in? Now, I really thought about saying this on the air because if there is something in there, now word can get around. And I encourage people look into this because it sounds nefarious. It doesn't sound like it could be portrayed it's in our best interest in case of riots and all this stuff. This could be there to help the police. I'm thinking, why would you have it there? Why wouldn't you have it at the police stations where you would expect them to be and would be fortified and protected? So, I mean, and if you think about it, okay, well then, if they burn down the police stations, then they got these caches hidden. I mean, we're talking, whoa, what a scenario that would be. They actually have to have this happen. That's pretty wild. And so, I don't know. It sounds nefarious to me rather than really some kind of civil service type help. I know, but some people are going like, really? You think? But I don't jump and react to things. I think about them, and it just there's just nothing that sounds good here. Because if it is a weapons cache and they're putting them there, that's pretty darn desperate, if you ask me. And that just tells you that they quotation marks, know something's coming down, and they're preparing for it. So that in that way, this information is confirming this, that many people already believe this is something's happening. But then again, it gives a little bit of thought for Janet Phelan's aspects that these happen to be in a water place. So I'm hoping that somebody hears this and passes it around to people who are more into the investigation end of something like this. I know Janet is already talking about it; she's already investigating it, and they can look into this now. Someone might say, and if I heard the story myself, I heard it from a source. So if I heard it and someone said, yeah, we had a government informant that told us this, and I would kind of doubt it. I would think like it's more malarkey. But the reason why I think there's credence here is that, first off, I know the individual is not saying this. He's not lying. This is not making a story up. There's no reason. There's no nothing. There's nothing that he would gain from doing that. Wouldn't impress me. He wouldn't. I mean, there's nothing there. There's nothing. He had no reason to say this. And in fact, he didn't say it until I mentioned the Jade Helm thing. So that to me, it's different if you heard it from some kind of a guy or gal with an agenda, especially a media type, that's going to use it as an ego boost or whatever. I got all these things that when I hear things, I kind of filter through that. I figure if things are true, there'll be other pointers to it. We don't need one informer who has some kind of problems, let's say, and that's the only source we're going to have. If something is true, it will come out, and especially I would add, in a metaphysical sense, the time frame that we're in is the time of the revealing, the Greek word apocalypse, meaning that things, as Jesus said, things that are in the dark will be in the light. Things that are whispered in the closed rooms will be shouted from the rooftops. And I think internet is kind of shouting from the rooftops because it goes all over the world. So I mean, to hear these things coming out is not surprising. The way it came out to me is trustworthy. Now, could this cop have been made this up to tell this individual? Yeah, he could, I guess. It's an odd thing to bring up. Especially, it's from what I can understand, and I actually should go back and talk to this guy and kind of get better stuff. But so this issue to me had enough kind of innocent, honest surprise, kind of like then revealing. The little door opens and you look, oh, wow. There's enough there for me to say there's legs on this. So I thought I would mention this so that somebody might want to look into it and be aware of it. If anybody lives around the Chicago area, or perhaps a listener or somebody maybe works at one of these facilities that can verify these things, that would be good. I mean, I'll take any emails and whatnot. So I can do that. But I'm not being the center of the investigation. I can collate some of these things, and if anybody's going to take the bull by the horns, I can pass the information on. So that is one thing I wanted to have, this kind of little, bulletin release. I don't do a blog. I guess I could write something up on YouTube or Facebook as well as putting this on YouTube. So I thought I would do this.